Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers. I've got this rather interesting purple document here called from the Law Society called From Recession to Upturn. It's a special report published by them. It's given the subtitle Financial Management and Strategy for Law Firms, and it's written by Andrew Otterburn and Sarah Wilkinson and published by the Law Society. There is a Flickr review of it on their system, and this one will be going on YouTube. The review itself, the report and the review of where we are at the moment with the recession is relatively short. It's about 100 pages long. There's a lot of detail in it. There are lots of charts, various other things, commentaries, and you've got a lot of financial information too, which will assist, obviously charts and things of this nature about overheads, fee earners, relationships and so on. So say it's a very light book. It's eminently readable, and I think it's a great advantage that the Law Society have come up with this at this particular time. I'm recording the review about a year on from the explosion, if you like, within the economic community globally of difficulties that we've had, apart from countries like Australia that have been outside it. My wife and I have written this review, and we've given it the title Squeezing Out of the Slump. Every lawyer should read this, because to some people what we do have is rather more than just a recession. It's obviously deeper than that. But the book works on the premise that recession is going to come to an end and we will then have an upturn. And as I record this, that appears to be what's happening at the moment, even though both the States and the UK and other countries have borrowed sums of money which we've never encountered or even thought about before. Let me give you an indication of what we think about the report itself, this particular document, and the way forward. We've said in the storm-tossed times we live in, the words of wisdom from this rather superb booklet from the Law Society, and it's a good publication, when judiciously applied to your own financial situation, should effectively act as a golden compass of sorts to help you navigate through the choppy seas of recession, because it is very much bobbing up and down, as we know even at the moment. The book's aimed at solicitors working in medium to large law firms, although all solicitors will benefit, and indeed we believe that barristers and their clerks in chambers should read it too, particularly the nitty-gritty chapters with their common sense advice on such basics as billing, payment terms, disbursement and client queries. Obviously the difficulty we always have is getting the money out of various people, and that this book helps to a certain extent. We all need reminding, of course, just to give one example referring to disbursements, that many partners actually shy away from billing disbursements. Some fear that it might seem trivial and would upset clients. In fact, the opposite is true, because corporate clients will view this as businesslike behaviour. Clients would not act as a banker to their legal representatives. Now, I'm a member of council, and obviously a brief fee is a brief fee and it must cover everything. But when I do public access work, I have to think carefully about what disbursements I may have, because I've got to think of basic things like trial bundles and the time and the cost involved in printing and so on. So we say amen to that. As business-like behaviour as a concept, we say it remains more or less the holy grail of business, particularly in the professions, and this book is nothing if not the solicitor's secret weapon for financial survival. It's written by two leading professionals, so From Recession to Upturn, which Otterburn and Wilkinson have produced, provides you not only with the tools you need to negotiate the current climate, it also aims crucially at preparing you for the eventual upturn, which of course will come, because everything is in peaks and troughs. Its strategy, yet practical approach, includes case studies from finance directors and other professionals which illustrate potential difficulties and suggest solutions, so we can see what their main aim is. And of course, as I say, the Law Society is to be congratulated for producing this publication. Part 1, I'm not going to show you because this is actually an A4 size document, but it's split into parts, and part 1 actually sets the scene with a twofold strategy to move your firm forward, while part 2 focuses on the most important aspects of financial management in a downturn. That includes working capital management, which of course is vital. Part 3 looks forward to the upturn with extremely helpful suggestions, and these are modern ones, although I'm sure older people will say we've seen it before, but it's always useful to repeat it. What we've got with part 3, therefore, these suggestions on how firms can position themselves to take advantage of potential opportunities. As I hasten to add, one of the biggest problems we've got is the massive regulation that we have to deal with. I'm hoping at some stage in the future we might be able to redress that. So let me conclude by saying in our review of this special report that financial control is always going to be a tricky area, especially in a recession. And if you want to know what to do and what not to do to maintain your financial equilibrium and that of your firm during difficult times, get this special report, because it offers uncompromisingly sensible guidance as we squeeze out of any possible slump. Good luck to you all with your business plans for the future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.